If you want to learn how to create a dashboard in Tableau, you're in the right place. I'm going to show you exactly how to build this modern, interactive dashboard in Tableau using a sample dataset. This is a beginner-friendly tutorial that you can follow if you want to test Tableau's capabilities and features, so I can walk you through how to create your first Tableau dashboard, or if you just need a refresher. Follow along with me by creating a copy of the Google Sheet file and the link below. We'll cover everything connecting to data, building key visualizations, understanding relationships, and put it all together into a clean dashboard layout. Let me show you what's the process to get started with Tableau. So here we have Tableau, a blank Tableau, and by the way, I'm using Tableau Public. So if this is your first time working with Tableau, you should know that Tableau Public is one where you can use it for free. But the thing is that you cannot really save the workbooks on your computer. Everything that you do in here is gonna go up to the cloud, to Tableau Public, so it will be able, anyone will be able to find this workbook if you're working here. So keep that in mind if you have sensitive data. If you have sensitive data, you should go to Tableau paid, to whatever it's their paid bracket, and that's the only one that will let you create something here that is not well, where you can secure the data that you use in here. So to get started here on Tableau, we should be prompted with this home screen. So for this tutorial, I want to go using Google Drive. I think this one is not by default in here, but you can go here to more, and if you go here to more and go here to Google Drive, or you can also look for it. So it should be looking for something here, and it's gonna send you to your Google, whatever is your default browser. For me, it's Chrome right now. I'm letting Tableau Public have my data, or authenticated data. So I have here a few files that I've been using. For this one, I'll be using the sample sales data for the data responsive layout. So now it just connected to the Google Sheet that I have on the cloud. So this will be the easiest way for you to have data connected on the cloud in Tableau. You can also load the data model with something, maybe like an Excel file, but for this example, we're gonna use my Google file, and in the Google file, I have this dummy data tab, and so it recognizes all the data that I use in the Google Sheet. And if you want to see the Google Sheet, actually, let me show you. So as you can see here, this is where I have my data, and it just recognizes all the fields that I have here on this Google Sheet. And that's the same that we're looking at here on Tableau. So once you connected your data, you can see here, this is the structure that I follow, and I'm using this folder for the sample data that I'm using for this file. And you can look for anything that you make available to Tableau Public, so you can check where your data is. Yeah, you can navigate that in there. Now that we have our data connected here in the data source, with this data source page, you can make a lot of connections, a lot of relationships between different data sources. It can be in a maybe BigQuery. Some data can be in Google Sheets. Some data can be offline in your computer using Excel. But this is where this page comes really handy, and I think this is the strong point of using Tableau, where you can bring in data from different data sources, and it is way easier to manipulate all those connections here on Tableau. And you can even have really deep permissions provided here on Tableau. So yeah, that's where Tableau excels. Something that looks like a con here for Tableau is that you cannot really transform the data that you bring in here. But actually, I think that might be a benefit, because since Tableau it's expecting clean data to work with, that's why I think their strong point for them is that that they can bring in data from multiple data sources, and it's a lot easier to manipulate different data sources together to combine the data sets and have this cross-reference KPIs if you need to. But for this one, we will just be using Google Sheets. And now let's create our first visualization. So we'll go here to sheet 1. Let's start with creating a new calculated field. Right click here where all the fields in the table, all the fields from the data source are here on the data set. And I can select here, create calculated field. And now that I have here calculated field, I'm gonna call this field, which is price, and I'm gonna multiply it by the quantity. Tableau seems to think this is okay, so I'm gonna click on OK. And for this tutorial, I'll be using this calculated field a lot, so please make sure you have this step right, okay? So the first visualization that I'm gonna create is a time series trend. Since I want this to be a line chart, I actually want this to be continuous instead of discrete. Discrete is like it's gonna treat each month like it was specific, like it was separate from the last month. But actually, what I want to show here is that it is continuous. So I'm gonna turn this into continuous, and you can see the color change here for the field. But also, I want to use month as a reference. Okay, so we already are seeing here the line chart taking shape. And then I'm gonna drag the sales field that we just created to rows. So that actually helped me create the line chart. And you can see this automatic added all this. And now it's easier to understand this data of the sales from a month perspective. And now let's create our secondary visualization. And here we have this options here on the bottom. And this one is for the second sheet. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna call this sales trend. Okay, this will come handy later when we put together our dashboard. So I think it's easier if we're organized from the beginning. And for the second visualization, we're gonna create a geographic impact map. For this one, I'm gonna call it Geo Sales. I'll be using country. So I'm gonna double click on it, and it actually just, it understood it was this type of data. It had a longitude and latitude, so we could pinpoint whatever data we're gonna visualize here on a map. And then I'm gonna drag sales to the color mark. So here onto the color mark, and you see the visualization changed drastically how it is showing the data visualization, so you can understand better. And now let's create our third visualization. Let's go here and create a new one. And I'm gonna name this one top products. And for this one, I need to know the name of the products, and I'm gonna use this field, the product name. And you can see here, these are dimensions, and these are more like continuous fields, and these are more discrete fields. That's what it means. So this is what we saw here when we were creating this line chart. So for this one, I'm gonna use the product name, and I'm gonna drag it to rows. And you see here, I have all the names of the products here on the. Again, I'm gonna use sales, and I'm gonna drag this to columns. And you can see now that all the sales are represented by a bar chart. And actually, I'm just interested in the top 10. And for this one, I need to sort by sales. And you can see it sorted all the sales automatically for me. And it is now showing the higher sales per product to the top. And then the least sales for a product are on the bottom. Okay, and now I want to filter by the top 10 because I don't want to see all these results here. Drag to the filters, and I have multiple options here, but I'm interested into the top results. So I'm gonna filter by the top 10 fields by sales and the sum measurement. So I have multiple ways to display this top 10, but right now I just need the sum. So I'm gonna click OK. And now I just have the top 10 results or the top best products sold. We're gonna start creating our KPI. And for this one, I'm gonna call it KPI, total sales. It's easier, it's just different way of manipulating this type of visualizations. For this one, I'm gonna drag the sales, but this time, instead of dragging it to rows and columns, I'm gonna drag it here to text. You see here, now I have the total number here for the sales. And I can actually start formatting here if I want it to look a little bit more like a dollar sign. I need this to look like dollar values. And now I can make this dollar values by United States. And I can also do a custom one. Let's say I wanna, maybe this number is too big, so I wanna show this by millions. You can see it's now using a smaller format so I can read it better. And then I can also make this way bigger if I need to. And this is how I can start, well, changing the format here for the KPIs. And the next KPI I'm gonna do is the total quantity. So again, I click here on quantity, drag and drop. And again, I have here my KPI. Let's format this a little bit. Again, let's do this. Okay, I kind of like it. This one is gonna be named KPI total quantity. Now let's get our third KPI, total customers. I'll know if it's a different customer by their email. So again, I go here to text, but I don't really want to know their emails. So what I have to do here is I can click here to the drop down arrow, and I'm gonna use a measure, and I'm gonna count all the distinct emails that I have here for these field. And now you can see I have all the total customers that I have on my data source. Again, I'm gonna change here the format. It looks better. Why should you choose Tableau over other tools out there? Actually, it's simple. It's because it's built for visualizations first. As a beginner, you don't want to write code or make complex data transformations or data cleaning. Tableau is drag and drop. It allows you to create complex visuals very easily, like maps or line charts or bar charts, which means you can learn fast and make results faster. It has the largest data visualization community, so if you have a question or you're stuck somewhere, you can be sure you're gonna find an answer online. It's a perfect tool from starting to zero because you're never gonna feel alone with the community. It is arguably the best visualization tool in the market. It is so powerful. You can be sure that if you imagine a visualization, you can create it here on Tableau. I've seen the craziest visualization here on Tableau, where I know other software it's more difficult to create custom visualizations. Tableau gives you so much flexibility creating visualizations, where if you're willing to put on the time, you can create amazing visualizations here, and also the craziest ones. And now that we have all our visualizations, let's start creating here our dashboard. And again, we're gonna create another tab here, but instead of clicking here on to create another new worksheet, I'm gonna click here to new dashboard. And now we have this new dashboard visualization, but I actually like it automatic, so I can use all the canvas here to start the layout of the dashboard. Okay, and now this is why we needed to be organized from the beginning. Because right now I know what visualization, what was the name of the visualization, and I can just look here all the visualizations that I created on this workbook for Tableau, and I can just do the same thing, just drag and drop, and that's how I can start creating this this dashboard using. We would like to add a title, so I'm gonna add a title here, and I'm gonna call it Tableau Dashboard Tutorial. Now this is the title of my dashboard, and I can start, I'm gonna start dragging and dropping my KPIs. And you can see now that I'm using the automatic size, this automatically is just pending my visualizations where they fit here on the dashboard. We can do this on a more like free-form layout, but I actually like this a lot more, since this will be more dynamic whenever you're visualizing this on a browser. If you're using a tablet or a desktop, it's gonna look different because it's gonna be sized to the size of the device. Gonna drop total quantity and total customer here. Yeah, and I can start changing the layout structure. But that's something that I will leave till the end or to the top left side. So now I want the top products. Actually, I want to see the top products under here. Here, there you go. And by the way, the title doesn't need that much space, so I could start taking space from it. I would like to put next to it the geographic sales, the right side of this one. Okay. I want to display this under my visualization. I don't want it outside of it. So I have a reference of the colors here on the map. Then I would like to add the sales trends on top of the geographic, the KPIs to stay on this side with the visualization. This is starting to look like a dashboard. There are some formatting that we'll still need, but I would say we need a little bit of filters on this side. And the first one I would like to be maybe based on this one, on the geographic sales. And there's a menu here, a context menu that I can use, and I will use, well, actually I'm gonna use as a filter, and that will help me whenever I click on the visualization. This one is gonna filter out all the visualizations that have the same data on this dashboard, or the same data set, by the way. Then I can also see more options by the visualization, and for this one I wanna include this country filter, but I can click by country, but I don't know where the country is, and I actually want to just use the name of the country because it can get a lot more difficult. I can use, well, never mind, let's keep it there. But now whenever we add filters, we can also change the layout of the filter, or how the filter works. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change this to multiple values. Okay, I want this next to the title. Now I have the countries here, and I can click on whatever country I need to see all the information. And there you go. For now, I'm gonna keep them all. And I also wanna include the product name. So that will come handy. So again, I go here to products. I know the product name is right here. So I can create a filter using the product name. Again, I have this same thing that happened with the country, and I can click here. I can change the way the filter works, and there you go. I have another control filter here on top. And now I will also like to add the date and sales filter. So I actually have the sales. Well, I can use the sales from here, from this trend, and I can filter by month of date. And you can see this filter is a little bit different than we had before. And last one will be the sales. I think I'm gonna use the KPI total to filter by the sales. And now our dashboard is actually looking good, and I can start making all these visualizations work together, and they will filter out all the data that we have here. I can make the filters to apply to all the visualizations with the worksheet. And I'm gonna use to filter all the ones using the data source. Okay, and now that we have our dashboard put together, it's just a matter of changing the design and also cleaning this up a little bit so it looks however you want to look it, and so it can look a lot more professional for your needs. Once you have spent some time working on the format of your dashboard, it can look a lot better. And usually Tableau has the default type of visualizations that look really clean from the get-go. We can work a little bit more on the design, so it kind of looks more modern but still minimal. But Tableau has a lot of options, but I think the default type of visualizations with a clean white visualization looks really good. You can go crazy if you want to, and I think Tableau is the best tool. So with our dashboard here, now that it's finished, we are ready to upload the dashboard here. We can save it to Tableau, and since we're using the free version, and since this account is specifically for our Tableau public, I'm gonna use my Tableau public login session. I can upload this worksheet to Tableau public. And Tableau is here gonna give us the option to change the name of this file if we need to. Right now mine is called Tableau Dashboard Tutorial for this video specifically. So right now I already uploaded this version to Tableau public, so it's gonna ask me if I wanna overwrite it. So then if you make adjustments to your Tableau public file, then you can just overwrite it, and that's the way it's gonna update the file in Tableau public and look on the cloud. And that's the only way you can save Tableau public files, unless you pay for Tableau server, Tableau cloud, and different type of paid versions that Tableau has. So if we actually look for Tableau public, we're gonna find where you can use this discover feature, where I'm gonna sign in to Tableau public again. Now you can see here my Tableau file was uploaded here to Tableau public. This is what I was mentioning. If you're using sensitive data, I don't think you should be using Tableau public, but if this is something where it doesn't really matter, or you just want to give it a try to create visualizations here on Tableau before you pull the trigger and pay for their paid version, this is a good way to try it. You just created your first Tableau dashboard, or you just had a refresher. But how do you know where to put your efforts next to improve your data analytics? I've created a free assessment that you can take online. You'll find the link below, and it's gonna help you understand where are your biggest gaps in your data analytics practices. You can take it, get personalized results, so you can save yourself many months of headaches of your data analytics practices. Now, if you want to compare Tableau to other BI software on the market, I have another video where I walk you through on a tutorial how to create a dashboard using Looker Studio. See you there.